Big good win here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Get me up there, rank me up. Hit that like button, check that notification bell, make sure it's on, so you can come back for more. So, Fantastic Four. Today's story is that Fantastic Four wanted a Black Sue Storm. The director wanted a Black Sue Storm. The director pitched Black Sue Storm, but got heavy pushback. I kind of find that hard to believe that he got heavy pushback, considering the fact that he was already allowed to run with a black Johnny Storm. Now, maybe he did get heavy pushback, I don't know. I've never actually seen this version of the Fantastic Four, because for several reasons. One, I'm not fond of how the thing looks. Two, I'm not on board with race-changing characters. People always complain that, oh, you complaining about that makes you racist, or what. I don't care what your argument is. There's no justification for race-changing characters. So Josh Trank, director of 2015 reboot of Fantastic Four, has revealed that he wanted to cast a black actress as the superhero Sue Storm, but got heavy pushback. Kate Mara was cast as Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman, one of the founding members of the Fantastic Four, along with her brother Johnny Storm, played by Michael B. Jordan. The heroes are typically portrayed as white siblings in Marvel Comics, and they should have been in the film too. Let's not BS people here. They should have been played by white people in the film. But the film's version of Sue was Johnny's I almost said Johnny Depp. The film's version of Sue was Johnny's adopted sister. There was a lot of controversial conversations that were had behind the scenes on that. I was mostly interested in a Black Sue Storm. So here's a Black Sue Storm, a Black Johnny Storm, and a Black Franklin Storm. So here's the thing, as they always say that you cast the best person for the job and all that. That's why this person was casted for this particular role. It had nothing to do with trying to check a box. It had nothing to do. Clearly, you can see here that this guy up front wanted to cast Johnny Storm and a Black Franklin Storm and a Black Sue Storm up front. It had nothing to do with who was best for the job, and it clearly had nothing to do with respect to the comic books or the origins or anything. He just wanted to completely do his own thing, and he wanted to just throw black people in there because he wanted black people to virtue signal or appear woke, to appeal to that crowd. So Trank said in an interview with Geeks of Color, but when you're dealing with a studio on a massive movie like that, everybody wants to keep an open mind to who the big stars are going to be. Maybe it'll be Margaret Robbie or something like that. When it comes down to it, I found a lot of pretty heavy pushback on casting a black woman in that role. As you should. Just as you should find a lot of heavy pushback if you were to say that some white dude should be playing Blade, or some nonsense, or some white dude should be playing War Machine. You should get heavy pushback. I don't understand why they're still talking about going with, when it comes to Bane, they're still talking about going with a white dude instead of a damn luchador. So when it came down to it, we read that part. Trank said he should have abandoned the project when he realized it didn't align with his values. What values? Your virtue signaling ones? He's been open about the behind-the-scenes turmoil surrounding his superhero movie, which he called the most disastrous professional experience of my life, in an interview with Variety last month. When I look back on that, I should have just walked when that realization sort of hit me, and I feel embarrassed about that I didn't just out of principle. Those aren't the values I stand for in my own life. Those weren't the values then or ever for me. What the hell is this guy talking about? Because they wouldn't give you a black Sue Storm and all that, these aren't your values, so you should have walked away. What are you even doing Fantastic Four in the first place if you just want to race change the vast majority of the characters because they don't align with your values? I'm somebody who always talks about standing up for what I believe in. What do you believe in? Even if it means burning my career out. I feel bad that I didn't take it to the mat with that issue. I feel like I failed in that regard. He said the Fantastic Four reboot received mostly negative reviews from critics and fans and grossed only $56 million in the US and $168 million worldwide against an estimated budget of $155 million. It was the lowest grossing Fantastic Four movie to date and one of the lowest grossing films based on a Marvel property. They're acquiring 20th Century Fox. Disney now has the rights to the Fantastic Four and plans to introduce them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the future. A representative for Disney did not return Variety's request for comment. Well, hopefully Disney doesn't try to do this. I don't know what the hell you're doing trying to do a Fantastic Four film if you intend to race change all the characters and you're saying that, oh, you shouldn't have stayed on board of the film because they wouldn't let you race change Sue Storm like they let you race change Johnny Storm. And you're saying this doesn't align. The fact that you can't race change these characters doesn't align with your values. Completely bizarre. Completely bizarre. You have no business doing anything based off of source material if you're just going to race change the characters. That goes for black characters, white characters, Hispanic characters, whatever. If you had these intentions up front, you can't even justify that you hired the best person for the job in this particular situation, because you're saying up front, I wanted a black Sue Storm, but they wouldn't let me have it. And let's be honest here, this guy, maybe there's some kind of proof to back up what he's saying here, but he's only saying this right now because the whole Black Lives Matter movement. He's only saying this right now because everything that's going on. His movie was a pathetic flop, a disaster, and he's trying to defend it with this garbage excuse. Always playing the victim narrative. What do you think of all this? Would you prefer actual black Sue Storm and a black Johnny and all this like he wanted? Or do you think there's a serious problem with this guy's take from the get-go, like I do? I think there's a problem with it. I'm not on board with race-changing characters or any of that. It's stupid. I've never actually seen this film. I don't know how bad it was. I hear it's very horrible. I've intended to see it at some point. I've always said, eventually I'll watch it. Eventually I'll watch it. But God, I can't imagine it's going to be worth my time to watch it. Comment down below, like, subscribe, share, stay awesome, and rock on.